everybody. Welcome to the newest episode of the Taco Tuesday podcast. This is Brandon.
And this is Jake.
And we are coming to you live from Cat Central.
Yeah.
A cat just strolled up to the door and was trying to make friends.
So. But we're not trying to have it.
Right. We ain't having none of that shit. Not today. No, so last time we talked...
What did we even talk about, man?
Well, last time we talked, you were getting ready for a date.
Oh, shit.
Are you able to talk about how it went? How you feel it went? Yeah?
Yeah.
So how did it go? What did you guys end up doing?
We went to this nice little Italian spot called Trattoria Tiramisu.
Ooh.
It's just a fancy name for we sell Italian food. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all that is. But it was delicious. And
did you have tiramisu?
You know, we didn't. I honestly, like, when I eat food, like, I eat with a purpose. Like,
right.
If there's food in front of me, I don't, like, bother with the breathing. I don't chew much. Like
breathing, I can't be bothered with it.
What I do is I eat. And so when I'm on a date, especially a first date, I really have to, like, I try to, like, talk as much as I can without being annoying because I don't, like, I want to keep stuff out of my mouth because if I start eating.
Okay.
So I didn't actually eat a whole lot. Like,
okay.
I took home most of my food.
I was about to say, you went to a place with tiramisu in the title and had no tiramisu. That's like going to spaghetti and being like, hey, how are your sandwiches?
Right. No, and I probably... Actually, I don't even know if they have tiramisu. I mean, I imagine they do, but...
They should.
The guy asked... The waiter, by the way, if you're listening, waiter, you were amazing.
Yes, waiter, good job.
He was a really good waiter, but he kept tapping the table. Like, every time he would leave, he'd be like, oh, I'll go get you more bread. He would tap the table. And I was like, you've watched a lot of movies, and I appreciate that, man. You know? But he was great. And he asked if... He said, hey, would you like to see a dessert menu? And I said no. So I don't even know.
You opted out of all tiramisu-related ventures entirely. You're just like, hey, I don't even want to
Actually, I guess I'll take that back. I said, hey, do you want any dessert? And she said, nope. And I said, yeah, me neither. Because I'm a follower. Actually, I was full because, you know, like anytime you go to an Italian place, they bring you bread before you get anything else.
Right.
Like, we didn't even have water, but we had some bread in front of us.
But you gotta think too. It was a first date, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta imagine that nerves were taking place. You probably didn't want to be like, yeah, I'll have 3 of this.
Right. Oh yeah. If I was by myself, I mean, I would have
tore the house.
I would have eaten the bread and finished because I got like a pasta with like shrimp and snow crab or something, and it was good. But I just couldn't eat a lot because I was trying to like. I'm not, like, a great-looking guy. Like, I'm not completely unfortunate, I don't think. But, like, I'm not a great-looking guy, so I really rely on my personality to kind of get me over that proverbial hump where, you know, maybe a lady is like, I don't know if I want to see him again. I can
sympathize, yeah.
You know? So, so I was, you know, just being my usual charming self the whole night.
Hey, how would that not work?
You know, I'm still in contact with her.
Now, do you think your lack of desire to eat was because of a subconscious like need to impress her, or do you think it was just so comfortable that you didn't even think about eating, that you were just having so much fun talking to her?
I think part of it was that because I mean, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm not eating. That's probably weird. We are at dinner, but
or like I'm hungry.
She mentioned it. She's like, "Are you like?" I can't remember what she said, but it was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you gonna?" And I just like made a joke about how like you know, she was so beautiful that I couldn't focus on anything else.
There
or something.
You
know
that's how you do it.
So
swing for the fences.
You know, we had a nice dinner, and then as you do on a first date, we went and walked around Burlington Coat Factory for
there you go.
I don't know, 45 minutes or so. We smelled candles together, and
did you purchase a coat?
I did. No. I did not.
No. You're like,
I asked
girl, I'm gonna buy you a coat.
I said we looked at the coffee cups and the candles and just other. You know, we just walked around. But I asked her. I said, "Hey, do you want to go see a movie?" And she had already told a friend that she was going to help him get ready for like Friendsgiving because we went out on Wednesday and Thursday was
Gotcha.
Thanksgiving. So she had already told a friend that she was going to help him get ready for that. So she didn't really have time to.
It couldn't be an all night date.
It couldn't be an all night date,
Right.
but I was like, I asked her if she wanted to go for a walk, but it was kind of cold. She's like, no, not really.
Yeah.
I was like, what if we? She's like, we could go walk around the mall, and I was like, I'm not going to the mall, but Burlington Coat Factory is my favorite store of all time,
Really?
hands down.
I'll be honest with you right now. I don't think I've ever been in a Burlington Coat Factory.
It's like, have you ever been in like a TJ Maxx or a Marshalls, or it's like a discount?
Forever ago.
It's basically a discount store, so they get all the shit that other stores didn't sell. You know,
Okay.
they're basically like the
Where clothes
they're
go
like
to
the
die.
bill collectors of clothing stores.
Nice.
You know,
Okay.
like if a company can't get their money, you know, they give it to bill collector, and they try to do it right. So at like a reduced price, right?
So this place is like the island of misfit coats.
Correct.
Got it.
But
Okay.
they don't have bad stuff. Anyway, what's at Burlington Coat Factory isn't important. Please sponsor me, Burlington Coat Factory.
After we said nothing there is important.
Yeah. No, I was like,
Yes.
what they have in there isn't important, but they as a
The
store,
building.
like, okay, so like, you know how I feel about Kmart. They're like
You hate
1,000 times better
You-
than Kmart.
I think I stopped you once or twice from wishing death upon the owner of Kmart.
You probably did, but he deserves it, honestly. So, yeah, no, everything went fine, man. It was good.
Good. All right.
Yeah. How was your date?
My date?
Yeah. You probably haven't been on a date in like 5 years, huh?
Yeah. No, we.
I mean, you guys like go out once in a while.
Yeah,
right?
we're able to get a date night in here and there, but
But it's not like a first date where you're all nervous and shit. You're
No,
just like,
hell
you
no.
guys know what you're doing.
yeah, no. That if me and my wife go out on a date, we usually go to a place and like order the most chunky thing there, and
Yeah, man.
it's not a whole lot of talking. It's a lot of like me
Gorging?
Yeah, it's me like eating noodles by hand, and my wife's like taking meatballs and throwing them up in the air and catching them in her mouth. And like,
Nice.
look what I did. Like, all right, yeah, good job. The waiter's all impressed and shit.
He's just clapping from the corner.
Right? He's like, she caught a third one. She's a badass. No, so I mean, it's few and far between. But when me and my wife get out, we usually like try and cram a bunch of shit in there. It's like, let's go to dinner. Let's go to dinner and the casino. Let's go to dinner in a movie. Let's cram an actual long date in there so that whoever's watching our kids has to do it for a long ass time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna get a babysitter, you might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of people, fans or friends, family or otherwise, that are like, yeah, I just work 9 to 5. Let me come over and sit with your babies for 5 or 6 hours.
Although to be fair, your babies are pretty easy to watch, though, right? I mean, they seem.
I lucked out. My kids are actually pretty mild tempered. Like they are hyper. They'll get around. The hyper is, I guess, a bad way of putting it, because people think like, oh, your kids are bouncing off the walls. It's like, no, my kids are just not sitting down watching TV the whole time. They're like playing with toys and giggling and they get hungry and this and that, blah blah blah.
They get hungry?
Every once in a while.
Wow.
I mean, they are my kids.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, no, my kids are easy to watch. So if anybody out there wants to watch my kids, there's a strenuous application that goes with it. Like, we ask you, hey, have you ever murdered a kid? You say no. You're like, you're hired.
Yeah.
But
So nobody that's listening, out of the few listeners we have, the few dedicated listeners we have, nobody's listening. But I just want to point out that this cat has just been sitting on the little porch outside of Brandon's back room, just watching us the entire time. He is invested in what we have to say.
now,
I love him. He's my biggest fan, probably.
Now, I'll tell you this much. This cat is, like, here at the back door, like, almost every other day.
I feel like he's somebody. You said he's a feral cat, but
Yeah.
I feel like he's somebody's cat because he's fat. I mean,
Well, he's fat because my wife puts out, like, we've got 2 cats here at the house, and
Yeah.
she'll put out like a quarter of a bowl for the cats so they don't
Yeah.
like vomit everywhere and
Right.
shit all day long. But this cat, she goes out with like a Tupperware bowl and like fills that bad boy.
Really?
And she's like, go to town, like it's a horse trough.
well, yeah. I mean, she doesn't have to worry about him throwing up or shitting in your house, right?
No.
But that's why he keeps coming back, obviously.
Oh yeah, no. He's like, hey, where's the female? She feeds me all the time. That fat bastard doesn't give away any food.
Yeah, well, you are kind of stingy.
I am.
All right, so we have. We were thinking about what we should talk about today because, as anybody who's listening knows, we kind of just go with the flow.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about current events, but
with the things that are going on right now in the news, we felt that it'd kind of be like beating a dead horse if we went over the fact that since we talked about it last, there's another 7 or 8 male celebrities that are accused of sexual harassment. So
yeah, right. It's shitty, but people hopefully know that we do not condone, and we hope that Hollywood changes the culture there, because it's obviously a pervasive problem, but we don't need to spend another 45 minutes talking about it.
Yeah, it's disheartening. We hate it, and we'll go from there. But we have a list that we'd like to answer with you guys and let you know a little bit more about how the Taco Tuesday boys kind of feel. What makes us tick?
Right. These are some pop culture references that have they have opinionated answers. People kind of vary on the spectrum of what they believe. So, without further ado, the first one is: should Hermione have ended up with Harry?
See, with that, it's like given the 4 people that ended up, whether it was Harry went with Ron's sister Ginny,
right,
and then Ron and Hermione ended up together.
Correct.
Now, if Harry and Hermione ended up, you can't have Ron date his sister. This is in Alabama. This is Hogwarts, you know.
Right.
So
this is a classy British place.
Exactly. There's castles and shit. But then again, you think you turn that on its head, and you've got Game of Thrones style shit. It's like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think like. I'm not gonna venture any further down there.
You feel uncomfortable. I get it. No,
I don't think there should be any family fuckery.
So as I'm reading on this is on like some blog. It says that J.K. Rowling said herself that she regretted putting Ron with Hermione, and I disagree with that. I think that was the right thing, because Harry already has it all. Like, he survived an assassination attempt as a baby. That's bad as fuck, you know? And then, he gets to go to the school, and obviously people don't like him, but he's widely liked and respected by everyone else. Like, I thought it was a good choice. Ron is just the sidekick, man. Like, he deserves something good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Gingers need love too.
They do.
Right. Who's to say Ron couldn't get himself a Hermione?
Oh, yeah.
I think that was well deserved.
I think so too. All right. So, moving on then. Star Wars versus Star Trek. Now, this is going to be more your realm because I'm not much of a nerd.
Okay. With that, I know just enough about Star Trek to get by in a conversation where somebody else knows more about it, and they can just talk and
they can guide the conversation.
Right. You know about this, right? Like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And really the same thing goes for Star Wars, but I have seen more of the Star Wars product than I have Star Trek, so I would have to say Star Wars, just because that's what I know. And with that, the only thing I have to base that off is the fact that the only Star Wars movie I've seen was the one that came out a couple years ago, where
Rogue One,
Force Awakens. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
The one before Rogue One. The first Star Wars
that was the first one you've ever seen?
That was the first Star Wars movie I've ever seen in its entirety. And a lot of people ask, like, you consider yourself a nerd, how have you not seen Star Wars? I grew up in a house where my parents weren't nerdy like that. Like, my mom liked Matthew McConaughey,